Hey Heartlanders! In today's video, I talked to Amber Marshall, and she showed a side of her that we rarely see on the show. Now, Heartland is a dramatic series, so usually Amber is pretty serious in her conversations on the show, and sometimes you even see her crying or pensive. But what I saw today was so cool because I didn't think I could be any more impressed with Amber than I already was, but she is so funny and so genuine that I was. So I think you're really going to enjoy this very funny interview with Amber. And who knows, maybe after that little setup in episode 10 of season 15, we'll see more of this side of her in season 16. Anyways, enjoy this interview with Amber. Watch this. It's so funny because your life is so similar to Amy on Heartland, just the interesting, like all the different animals, and it's just amazing how similar it is.
Yeah. And I think over the years, my character has morphed into me a little bit more, and I've probably morphed into my character a little more. I think that's kind of gives the writers inspiration too, because I come in all the time and I tell different stories of what's happened on my farm. They're like, oh, that's great. Oh yes, what happened next? And so, yeah, I do think that my character and my life have kind of come closer together over the years too, just because of the natural progression of it and just hearing stories from my own farm. And then vice versa, I'll read things in the story and I'm like, oh, that's a really cool idea, or I'm going to try that, or
vice versa too, which is so neat that you learn from the story too, just like all of us do, the fans. And
yeah.
The other cool thing is that you guys used to have like chickens and geese on the show. I mean, horses are awesome too, but do you think you might first, if with season 16, maybe bring in more other types of animals?
I ask every single year. That's like top of my list.
Yeah.
The problem is noise. This is what it all comes down to. So horses are pretty quiet animals. And so we have very tight timelines during the day. So we have to get a certain number of scenes done within the hours of the daylight. With chickens and geese and sheep and any other animal like that, even cattle, they're loud, right? So we have to go again and again and again because there might be.
Oh my gosh, that's
right. So that's the one thing that every year I bring up, because I think, well, look at my place. You know, a farm isn't a farm ranch with a bunch of dogs and roosters and whatever walking around, but a television show isn't real. I hate to break it to you guys, Heartland. And I always say that, and it's like, it is funny because my life is similar to my character, but Heartland is completely scripted. There's 75 people all standing around me at any given time. Even when you just think it's me and Spartan having a nice quiet moment, I'm looking at 75 other faces that are looking back at me. That horses are easy just to, okay, we're going to put a halter on that horse and tie it to that fence, or we got to move it over here, we'll put it in this pen. But if you have geese and chickens and that walking around, then there is someone in charge of just making sure that they are in that specific spot when you're shooting. And so it adds a whole other element. And then if you're trying to get done in a tight deadline, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, stop, cut, the rooster went over there, we got to go get him back, put him in this position.
Like the 5 foot,
yeah. So, because I always used to just say, I'm like, well, why don't we just have them in the chicken coop? But the problem with that is you can't really see them and you can hear them. So it's like, it kind of defeats the purpose. So to answer your question, every single year I ask for more animals, and every single year I get the same, just flat out no. So even with the dog, like I love having Remy on set too, but it adds a whole new element. And that's why every year I'm like, oh, can we get Remy in more stuff? And not just because she's my dog, but because I feel like
it's so cool to see other animals.
Yeah, the dog. But when you have a dog on set, you have to have a dog trainer with them at all times. And so then they have to bring in an extra person. So now there's 76 people there. And you have to, there's a lot of different, because we're all a union show. So it's not just about, oh, bring Remy to work and she can be in the background.
Just throw her in.
I would love to do that. If I just brought my dog to work every day and she just followed me around, that'd be awesome. but it's actually not allowed, because when you bring a dog, there's a lot of different legal responsibilities too, because there's insurance and there's all that kind of thing, liability. And so every time there's a dog seen on set, you have to have a trained specific dog handler with that dog at all times. So it's not as simple as me just bringing Remy to work, as I wish it was. It's like, no, if she's gonna be in a scene, we have to call in the animal trainer. The animal trainer has to bring her. Like it's very
Oh, wow, really?
yeah, it's very regulated. So it's a little bit tougher for that kind of stuff, but that's kind of a bit of the behind the scenes.
It would be so neat to have that, because everyone has a connection to. I mean, some people have like a dog or a cat. They may not have a horse, but love to see the geese. But yeah, if there's all those regulations, just like you said, adds an extra layer of work and time, money on top of everything else. Yeah. Oh, and we have a special guest here too coming in. This is a little Polish. This is a Polish chick. Can you see her?
Oh, I sure can. The little hat.
Little Polish chick. This is Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
Yeah, she's gonna be super cute when she grows up.
Adorable.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Trying to ask about cooking. Please, 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 can you do more cooking videos?
Yes.
Amber's Country Kitchen, and I made your raspberry baked brie. It is like the best thing I've ever eaten in my life, I think.
It's always my party favorite. I love bringing that because it's always a big hit. But yeah, I think for me, all of these things take so much time. Yes. And I would love to do that kind of stuff, but it's like, just, I guess it's going to come down to, I'm not that type of person. There's a lot of people out there that are really good at making videos all the time. And for me, I just go through my daily routine and I don't necessarily want to think about, okay, now I have to set up the camera and I have to get like, you know, if I'm gonna make a meal, I'm just gonna make a meal. I'm not gonna be like, okay, so how does the background look?
With a phone each time and like having to be.
Once you do that, then you have to edit it all, and that takes time.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
And I'm not great at it because I don't do it all the time. I would rather be out hanging out with my animals or go for a ride or do something that I just don't have time for. So that's why it's one of those things where it's bittersweet, because I'm like, I would love to do more stuff like that, but I also wouldn't really love to do more stuff like that because it's not really me. And I think that maybe once, and I always say this, once I'm not as busy, I don't know if that day will ever come, but the barn, I have wood up everywhere and I'm going to be staining that. I should be doing that right now, but I'm like, you know what?
I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me instead.
No, I don't mean that in that way. I just mean,
I know what you mean though, but I really do.
I've been doing it in the last week or two and I just have too many other things. And I'm like, you know what, instead of staying up till midnight staining, which I really don't feel like doing, I'm like, you know what, I'll just come in and I'll sit down, I'll spend some time with Sean and actually see one another, because he's busy working too. Like he works similar hours to me when I'm on Heartland and he's busy. It's just like, I get home from work at 7:30 and then I'll just go straight to do chores. And then it's like, you just don't stop. Dinner. And then I go to bed. Oh, Phoenix found some dropped corn or something.
I love all that noise. It's awesome.
He's very excited. Mauser, you are shedding. You see this, everybody? It's on the floor for now. It's that time of year. Everybody's shedding. Phoenix is very excited about that corn. That's why I have a rooster in the house. People wonder. It's so they can clean up all the things that I haven't yet vacuumed.
Dogs and like other animals, it's great because it's like an automatic vacuum cleaner. I always say the same thing.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's chattering, but he's like, look at this. Look what I found.
One of your biggest fans, Michael Weinberg, was in episode 10 of season 15. He told me all about that. Oh, and yes. He was very excited about that. And Ken Craw, he was in, I believe, season 7. He was a background in that. So that's
their claim to fame.
Their claim to fame. That's right.
I can't believe it's taken 15 years for Michael to get on the show.
He said that I guess they put him in, I think in like season 7, they were going to put him in a scene, but then they cut it out of the show. They edited it out. He was too over the top, I guess.
Imagine that.
Surprised. Will you come and talk to us again?
Sure.
Thank you.
I would love to. And I loved meeting your little Polish rooster. Okay.
Bye, Amber. Thank you so much.
Bye. Take care.
Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe for